everyone, and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here. It's been a long time since I made a video for you, but I'm back with an exciting topic. I believe, at least I find this very exciting. I hope you will too. So I'm going to talk about something that I've been working on, or I've been trying out for the last few months. I'm still not entirely done, but I want to say a few words about it. I'm not gonna drag it out any longer. So basically, I was contacted by an online makeup academy to test their course, where you and anyone who is interested in makeup can become a professional makeup artist by taking this course online. So I'm going to talk a little bit more about how the whole academy works, and then at the end of the video I'm going to show you my everyday natural makeup using the tips and tricks I've learned. I hope you find this interesting and you will keep watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and remember to subscribe. Every interaction with this video helps to reach more people, so please keep that in mind. So what I want to talk about today is an online makeup course where you can become a makeup artist or a makeup professional from the comfort of your own home, which I found amazing. You can decide on the time when you want to access the course, when you want to practice, when you want to take the exam. I think this flexibility is so important in today's world. I feel like I'm flooded all the time with all sorts of different things, but it's very helpful that I can just access this on my own time. The courses are covering various topics, starting from the basics, or how it is to work as a makeup professional, everything that is regarding hygiene and how to work as sanitary as possible. Then you also have information about how to skin prep, how to deal with different types of skin. Then they move on to more natural makeup, and that is actually the makeup I'm going to show you today. So later on, this makeup I have on is the one I will present to you step by step at the end of the video. And if you find this interesting, I want to make a series out of this. So I'm going to go through each of the chapters and create a makeup if you want me to do that, and if you want to see some of the tips that I have learned throughout this course. Then you also cover different types of makeup: glam, bridal, male, kid makeup, mature makeup. There's a lot of different topics. In these modules, you don't only learn the different types of makeup, but you also learn how to deal with these, or how to apply these makeup on different face shapes, eye shapes, different skin colors and skin types as well. Besides that, there are also some bonus and extra modules in this course. You also get homework at the end of each chapter, and that you will present to your teachers. So you get one-on-one time with them where you get direct feedback. That means that even though you're not at a physical academy, you are still getting the feedback. You still get the one-on-one time that you don't usually get with other makeup educations or makeup content that you can consume on YouTube or Instagram or whatever. There are dedicated time for you, and not only during your course but also after. So even after you have graduated, you can still get guidance and support from your teachers, and that's the same for the content as well. So everything that you have seen in the course, you still have access to forever. And anytime there's an update, you will also have access to those new content on the website. So I love that with this course, you can access it anytime. You have lifelong access to it, and you have access to hundreds of hours of materials about how to become a makeup artist, and you can learn everything that is there. This course is called the Makeup Master Program. It is level 1 for beginners, which I am myself as well, because even though of course I appreciate makeup and I set my makeup up every single morning, I'm not a pro by no means. So I needed to start from zero, and I think this course is really good at teaching you the basics and the most important things that you need for yourself, but also if you want to work on clients. To be completely honest, I'm not doing this makeup course to become a makeup artist who works with clients on day-to-day basis. I simply took it to get better at makeup myself, and if I get into situations when my friends need makeup, I'm there to help. But I don't imagine that I will have makeup as my profession. I'm not planning to shift careers, but I still thought it's an exciting hobby. And it's a good to have when you love beauty and fashion and you're interested in this topic. When you're done with all your courses and homeworks, there is an exam at the end of this course, and when you pass that, you also get your certificate. And together with the certificate, you also get a pro benefits card. That means that you will get 40% off on some professional makeup brands like Makeup Forever, NYX, Anastasia Beverly Hills, Becca, and many more. One thing I forgot to mention is that besides the courses, the videos. You also get a makeup artist manual, which I found very interesting because there's a whole topic also in the courses, but there's a whole topic about color theory. I'm actually considering taking a course on color theory separately because I really love playing with colors also in my dressing. And of course, maybe if you look at me now, you don't see that because I'm wearing black and also having a very natural background, but I do find it very interesting. So I think it's fun to start out color theory on your face and how you apply it even just on foundation and as your base, then moving on to eyes, and then on what you are wearing. So I think it's a very interesting topic, so I was very happy when this was actually covered in the course. But I'm not going to blab any longer. I'm going to show you how I applied this natural everyday makeup. Before I start the application, I just want to note that right now I'm putting my own makeup on. It's not like I'm working on a client, so the sanitary measures are very different. I don't have to use a spatula or a metal palette to make sure that I keep everything sanitary. I'm going to use things directly from the tube and put it directly on my face because these things only touch me. So I'm going to start with the first step, which is primer. I'm saying it like this because I'm not going to use an actual primer. I'm just going to use this sunscreen that I've been using for a couple of months. I repurchased this many times because first of all, I'm not leaving the house without sunscreen. And second of all, this is the best makeup primer that is not even a makeup primer for real that I have ever tried. It makes my skin so matte throughout the day. I don't get oily, or even if I do, it's really at the end of the day. I never ever tried a product that really stops my T-zone from oiling through. Of course, as you can see, it leaves the bite cast and I'm quite light. My skin tone is pretty pale, and you can see maybe that there's a difference between my face and neck, so that is also something I should address when I'm putting my foundation on. The thing is, I'm always using my Foreo device every night, so my skin exfoliates quite fast and I'm losing color on my face very often. I still have some tan left from summer on the rest of my body, so I usually use self-tan to keep that color or my face's color matched to my body. It doesn't always work because I have to reapply it very often. I will use darker color as my foundation than my skin color is on my face. For this, I am going to use my favorite foundation. It's very affordable. This is from Catrice. I always tank up on this because I feel like this works very well on my combination skin. Another thing that is very important for your makeup application, and that's why I often have issues with the matching foundation to my skin, is because I am actually very cool toned. So when you're looking for matching the color to your skin or your client's skin, you should not only match the shade but also the tone. And that's why this is actually very helpful for me to add sand beige to the color mix, because that makes it cooler. It's still slightly too warm to my color, but it helps. I'm using this Shiseido brush that has two ends. I actually don't like the second end that I'm using right now, but it's good to mix the colors and then apply. I apply the foundation, as you can see, from the middle of my face and then blend it outwards, because usually it's around the middle of the face where you have more pigments and discoloration. If you were to test the shade match on your face, on your client's face, and you don't have the same issue like me that your face has a very different color from the rest of your body, then you would just use a little bit of the foundation and pull a line between the jaw and the neckline, which would indicate whether it matches or not. But on me, I can clearly see the line on my neck where my self-tan and actual tan meets, and I have this gap of being wider from the middle of my neck. Make sure to get into all areas and I blend it evenly. If you're not in a rush, if you're working on a client, you can of course, after using the brush, or even instead of using the brush, you could use a sponge to make it blend even better. But I really love this brush, so I usually get by with this, especially in the mornings. The tricky thing is with having lighter shade on top is that you really have to cover everything. When I feel like I'm more tanned and my foundation actually matches my face, I don't have to be that thorough. If I miss a spot, that's still fine because it's the same color. In this case, when I'm really just matching this part to the rest of my body, I feel like I have to bring my makeup more down just to keep the flow of the color. When you're done with the foundation, you can move on to your dark circles and color correction. What is suggested, and is a pro makeup tip, is that before you go into concealer under your eyes, you could apply color correction. So for that, because your veins below your eyes are blue, meaning they are cold toned, you should apply something that has a warm tone. I don't have a color correcting palette right now, and also for my everyday makeup I would not be using it, but if I had to go somewhere where I really need to look presentable and my makeup has to look good, or if I have to work on a client, then of course I would try to use color correction. For that you can mix something that has a warmer tone, more orangey tone, and you can go into these areas where you can see that it's bluish, or you can see the bluish tones. What I'm going to do now is I have a yellow toned concealer that I'm going to put in the corner of my eyes. And what is suggested to do is, when you actually use your concealer step, is that you use a concealer that is the same tone as your foundation but a shade lighter. I am cheating here a little bit because, as I said, I don't have color corrector, but I like to use this. You can't really see the name, but I believe it's from L'Oreal, and I really like to use this as like base or somewhat color corrector under my eyes. And then if I have any impurities, I also put a little bit, because this is quite close to the shade I'm using. But to further highlight my dark circles, or to highlight my eyes and get rid of my dark circles, I like to use a light concealer in the same place above or on top of my concealer. Another thing I learned is that it's good to let these things sit a little bit, and I'm going to focus on other areas of my face so they can sink in, and in that way they will have a better coverage. Of course I have to blend them more because they're gonna thicken a little bit, but it also means that they will stay longer throughout the day. So what I can do without ruining the rest of my face is I'm going to start with my eyebrows. There are many ways to work on your eyebrows. Since I have very bushy and dark eyebrows, I'm usually not doing much. What I like to use on everyday basis is this Anastasia Beverly Hills eyebrow product. I actually don't know the name of this. It just comes with a brush, similar to a mascara, and I just brush them upwards. The brushier the eyebrows, the younger your face looks. Course within limits. And since, as you can see, I have a lot of eyebrows, not too many holes, I don't like to fill them up or do anything else besides this. I think this is sufficient. And then for the rest of the day I always have a reusable brush without any product on that I just use to brush them up whenever it's needed. So now I had the product on, or the concealers on, for some time, so I'm going to go in and blend them. So as you can see, sometimes I put too much of the lighter concealer and you really can see the line, so I spend a lot of time on blending it, and I also bring it up on my eyelids to use this as an eyeshadow base. And you can see I'm bringing the concealer all the way on my eyelids, all the way up to my eyebrows. It just helped to highlight my face and get rid of the darkness. Unfortunately, not the puffiness, but it did the best it could. Now this is done. What I like to do after finishing my concealer is actually moving on to my contour. For this, I'm just using a stick. The way I use it, I used to draw a line on my face, very contour heavy style. I didn't like it. I don't think that blends so well. What I learned, it is the best to apply product to your brush and then from there apply it to your face. I'm starting from the ears until my eye starts, and I stop there. After this, I'm moving it upwards, so I'm blending it upwards, because if you do it the other way, your face will look saggy. So I like to apply first in a line and then just apply and blend upwards. Like this, I'm getting rid of all the harsh lines and my face feels more lifted. Then I do the same on the other side. And of course, you do this right below cheekbones. We are slowly getting there. So after contour, I like to do some blush. For this, I'm using a Pixie blush stick. Again, I'm applying directly to my brush. I just tap, tap, tap. And then I apply it to the outside of my cheekbones and apply it upwards. Blend, blend, blend. Do the same on the other side. Sometimes I apply too much. I feel like that might have happened now as well. When that happens, I just get my foundation brush and go over the area where I feel like I have too much blush. I would just tap, tap, tap over it and tone it down a little bit. This is also a trick that you can use anywhere. Also when you do the eye makeup or any other makeup on the rest of your face, you can either use an empty or a clean brush, a soft brush, just to blend everything. or when it comes to cream products, I like to use it with a brush that has some leftover foundation or concealer on, depending on which area I'm touching up on, because with this it doesn't just like smudge it off, but actually evens out the colors. So now that we are done with contour and blush, I can move on to my eyes. For this, I'm using a bronzer from Shiseido that I've been using for a very long time. The reason why I'm doing this is because I used to use this bronzer on my face instead of my cream products. So it was a two-in-one and I had the same color everywhere. Now I just use it because it's a very small item, so it can fit easily in my makeup pouch. So I just apply a little bit here. Often I just tap it off because it can get up a lot of product. My eyes are not the best for eyeshadow, so what I'm trying to do is create the crease that I don't have, and that's why I'm going in here to create some depth, and then also to the lash line and imitate this cat eye shape. So now that I'm done with the crease, I am moving on to adding some shine, and that I am going to do with another multi-purpose product. It's not cold tone, it's not warm tone, it's somewhere in the middle, kind of champagne-like. And what I like to do is just tap a little bit in the middle of my eye. Not too much, just to make it pop. Besides the eyelids, I also put it under my eyebrows. This can leave a line. So what you can do again is to blend it with a clean brush. And this is not a clean brush. This is actually the brush I'm going to use for my highlight. But I can still use this to blend it a little bit because it doesn't have product on it right now. And then when I'm done now, I'm just going to add some highlight here and here. There's one thing I forgot before applying mascara, and 70% of the time I forget it. So ideally I would do this after I have applied my concealer, but often I first remember before going in with my mascara. So what I like to use is a powder that I apply on the areas where I have concealer. So I do it under my eyes and also around my nose, maybe some on my nose as well, and in the T-zone. So I apply it where I get either cakey or oily. Tap it in this area so that it helps the product stay in place long enough. I feel like using this technique together with my fake primer, aka sunscreen, is literally the best thing I ever tried to stop oiliness and not to have my makeup move around. And as you can see, I'm using my highlight brush. And again, this is just making this video very, very realistic. Of course, if I was working as a makeup artist, I would not do these things, but I'm showing you what I'm doing on an everyday basis with the things I learned from the course. And to keep it fast and effective, these are the things I'm doing. So let's finish up with the mascara. I'm just going to apply it and show you the final result. And I have applied the mascara. The very last step is a very optional step for me, to be honest. I'm not a big lipstick fan. I just feel like because I'm so cool tone, I am having a hard time finding lipstick that works on me. I also feel like my lips are not made for lipstick that actually has a lot of colors. So what I'm using is a very, very old lipstick. And I'm using this because it has the best nude color. I just feel like it has almost the same color as my lip. I really, really like this one. This is my everyday go-to lipstick. Sometimes I apply either additional shinier colors on top of it or some type of metallic lip gloss that gives some additional color to it. But you will not really see me with a red lip or anything crazy. So that is why I also said that this is very much an optional step for me. And I think I'm not the only one. There are a lot of people I know who have the same feeling about lipstick. So you might meet clients who feel the same way. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope there were some tips in here that you can use in your everyday makeup life as well. And if you want to learn more about the Makeup Academy, then just check out my description box and you will find all the information. Of course, like always, just reach out to me in the comments or by email or on Instagram if you want to hear more about it. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you at my next one. Bye!